Hello and welcome back to the Pokemon Sapphire Let's Play. So, if you're watching this the day that it's coming out, then it is Christmas. If you do not celebrate Christmas, then you have no reason to find that important. And honestly, the only things I really like about Christmas are spending time with my family and giving people presents. Because I really don't think I need to find an excuse to spend time with my family or to give people things. I try to buy things for people when I see something that I know they'll like. I'm just like, oh, this person would like that, I'm going to get this for them. I just try to do that on a regular basis rather than just doing it on one holiday every year just because of a capitalist business practice and ad campaign. So, there's not a lot to do in this episode. As you can see, Datol's right there. I'm not gonna be there for much longer. Yeah, this was around the point where I realized, well, not this point exactly, but I do realize that a Lotad is fairly hard to train in this game. And you're going to be seeing why here in just a second. So, here's where I was like, alright, finally gonna give Datol a shot, because I had just been training him by switching him in. Right around here is where you're going to see why Datol isn't very helpful at the moment, in his current state. So, almost there. Come on, Datol. Alright. I'm sorry. There. That's why Lotads are not very useful. Their only attack move when you first get them is Astonish. Astonish has, 15 power? It's not powerful at all. And it's probably even more useless than Bide, which is what that C-Dot right there has. Which if you didn't know, Lotad is a Pokemon Sapphire exclusive, and C-Dot is the exclusive for Pokemon Ruby. This has always been kind of a tradition amongst the Pokemon games that the two different versions have different Pokemon than each other. Most Pokemon you can get in either version, but some Pokemon that are very similar, or in some cases have certain discrepancies. I'm not sure what the word is. They have certain similarities or differences that make them unique in a way. Basically, when they find two Pokemon they think should be exclusives, they'll put them on different versions. And it's to encourage you to trade with your friends. It's why when I first started trying to complete the Pokemon Red, Blue, and Yellow games that I had to get one of each copy. In fact, I need to get back to doing that. I might take my Game Boy Color with me, and my Game Boy Advance, as well as those games and the link cable over holiday. Which, by the way, I am recording this on Tuesday, or at least the audio for it. I'm going to be spending time with family during Christmas. I hope you are too. Oh yeah, that was bullcrap right there. Freaking one-hit KO, critical hit, quick attack from a freaking Talo. I know it was like a level or two higher than Lyra, and she didn't have very good physical defense to begin with, but still, I'm calling that one out. But yes, I will be spending time with my family. I am hoping that my parents enjoy the gifts I got them. Shout out to Mom and Dad for creating me and making me exist. Honestly, I hope you guys will be doing something this holiday season. I hope you'll have someone to spend time with, rather than just having to spend time alone. My older brother, unfortunately, isn't able to come home for Christmas. We don't know whether or not he's going to be working on Christmas Day, but he's currently working up at a ski resort, and it's probably the longest job he's managed to keep, and I'm hoping he's doing okay and that he'll be alright for Christmas. We're sending him a little care package, which has seemingly been caught in mailing purgatory. That's another thing. I have had two packages I ordered recently. One was a lot of D&D stuff that I won online. And it got stuck in shipping purgatory for, I want to say, 4 days. Yeah, D&D Postal Service, or not D&D, December Postal Service is not the most reliable thing. Then I got a set of trading cards that came here like 4 days early. So I don't know what that's all about. But yeah, we're hoping that his package gets to him before the brownies that were included go bad. Of course, brownies are pretty much the only baked good you can actually mail these days. I mean, they stay good pretty long. There's a pretty good batch of brownies too. Look at me just rambling. There's not a lot to talk about in this episode. Here is where we say bye to Dator. Maybe I'll pull him out again at some point. I'll probably, if I have a spare slot, when I go to the Elite Four, I'll take him along and give him the experience share just to give him a little time to shine. Hashtag time shine. But yeah, there's not a lot we're doing here today. A lot of running back and forth after nearly getting beaten to death and going back to the Pokemon Center, then getting nearly beaten to death again and running back to the Pokemon Center. A lot of that. Some more berries, more orange berries, more pecha berries. You know, the usual. This guy has always had a special place in my heart for the Pokemon Sapphire games. Because he's such a stuck-up wad. Now, watch this. Watch this, okay? I want you to watch very closely. Confusion, Tail Whip. So he first lowers my defense. So I think, oh, he's gonna go in for a big attack, isn't he? So there's the first confusion. Then he does another Tail Whip. Here comes the other confusion. Give him a little play here. Then a growl. I'm like, oh boy. Oh no, my physical attack that I don't use at all. Didn't use a single attack move. Every time I've ever fought this guy, he never uses an attack move. Ever. He never uses tackle at all. Why couldn't I win? Gee, I wonder why, Winston. I wonder why. You know, if you don't throw out a single damaging move at your opponent, maybe you're going to have a hard time beating them. And geez, certainly your Zigzagoon has tackle. I've never seen you use it, but dear God. I don't know if it's just bad AI or what. Shroomish! There's a Shroomish. I love Shroomish. I actually like Shroomish more than his evolved form. Was it Breloom or something? I remember Generation 1 through 5 Pokemon pretty well, but some of them I'm not as familiar with. I will probably swap out Shroomish here for Atropius one day, because there's no need to have a grass fighting type and a fighting type in my team. Especially when Breloom doesn't really use all that many grass type attacks. But for now, he will be helpful. And he will have a special place on my team. I always loved how back in the day they used to have 2-page Pokedex reports. You know, that was always something that showed me they put a lot of effort into it. Now it's usually just a 1-page report. And I guess it saves you on pressing the A button a couple times here and there, but it's something that I kind of miss. And thus, you shall be dubbed Glooby. I don't know where I come up with these names, I really don't. I want to say Glooby is a name of one of Projared's Pokemon from his, I want to say Fire Red. No. I think it was a Gumi he caught in Pokemon X, I want to say. It was one of his Nuzlocks, and he had a very Glooby sort of name. I don't remember what it was. I've watched all 4 of those Let's Plays, and I've absolutely loved them. I understand why he doesn't do them anymore. The comments on a Nuzlocke are always some of the most harsh things you'll ever read. This guy took a this guy has 6 like level 3 Wurmples. He took forever to beat, and you get like 48 cents for beating him. Like, that's the equivalent of it. It's 48 Poke dollars. And that's not even enough to buy anything, really. So, for all the time he wasted of mine, I sure didn't get much of a reward. But that's all we've got time for today. See you later.